Welcome back to the channel. My name is Chase, and today we will be breaking down the Pekka Smash attack that is dominating the current meta. So let's get right into it. Pekka Smash has been called a spam attack, a beginner level strategy, and much more that I can't really say on this channel. But it's being used by the pros more and more over the last few months, not in the spammy way. With a little bit of setup, Pekka Smash has actually been dominating in High Legend League as well as the pro scene. When Yetis came out, everyone used Yeti Smash with bowlers to back them up, but the Pekka was brought back into the meta when it gained an extra level, this time with Super Wizards as the backup. So what makes Pekka Smash so good right now? By the end of this video, I'm sure you'll see why. Starting with the army, this attack needs some Pekka and a backup troop to take advantage of the Pekka's tanking. You generally see Super Wizards used because they do massive chain damage to help soften up tightly packed buildings, helping the Pekka sweep through the base much faster. And they actually have more health than bowlers. Super Wizards are also good for killing clan castle troops and skelly traps that might stall up the Pekka. To keep your force alive through all the damage of the base, you should bring healers, and to protect the healers from seeking air mines, bring some balloons. Then you will need some funneling troops to get everything inside the base, so Yetis and baby dragons are great here. Sneaky goblins are good as well, but you only get 2 super troops, so only use them if you don't need to wall break to get into the base. Otherwise, use super wall breakers to save you some jump spells. Most Pekka attacks have the king going around the outside to funnel the main force into the core, and they bring some witches to help along the outside if there's a good amount of trash buildings. A typical Pekka Smash army has 3 to 4 Pekka, 5 healers, 5 to 7 super wizards or bowlers, sometimes an ice golem to tank while your troops advance into the base, 2 witches to back up the king, and the rest is for funnel troops and a few normal wizards for cleanup. You will need jumps to allow your Pekka access to the core of the base and as an exit once the core is dealt with. Rages get your Pekka and wizards crushing through defenses like butter, and freezes are useful just in case a single inferno locks onto one of your heroes, especially the RC. But I think freezes are most effective when they're used like this. A typical spell comp has 2 jumps, 3 rages, 2 freezes, and a poison. As a side note, you can also use lightning spells to zap out a section of the base, usually 5 zaps, 1 quake, to kill a single inferno, but it's a bit uncommon now. For the siege machine, you can run a siege barracks to help out the king with the funnel on the side instead of the witches. This clown car-esque unit will back up the king with an extra Pekka and a whole bunch of wizards following it up with your clan castle troops. Hogs can be used in your clan castle so that when the health of the siege barracks runs out, the hogs go right into the base, since the wizards and Pekka cleared the outer defenses. I also like to send in the RC with the hogs so that the hogs go out in front and distract single infernos for her. You can also use Valkyries or Yetis to continue working down the side when the siege empties. Alternatively, you can run a blimp with Yetis to eliminate a high damage compartment, or to set a funnel, or to secure the town hall if you want to send the main force away from the town hall compartment. Look for bases where you can eliminate a corner compartment and the trash around it to set a funnel, and from there have a way for your troops to enter the core of the base with 1 jump or just wall breakers. That way you can save a jump spell for the exit out of the core. You can eliminate the corner compartment in a couple different ways. You can Yeti bomb it or Warden walk it. The Warden walk is great since you just have to place 25 troop space or 1 Pekka in his range and he'll join back up with the main force. If you needed a lot of buildings, especially a high damage defense, plan to rage the Warden so he can get through it quickly. The Warden's damage is kinda low, so he might take a while. That's why I'd recommend only doing a Warden walk for level 40 Wardens or higher, where his damage is just enough to be effective. Wherever you plan to Warden walk, look out for ground expos or any long-range defenses that might target the Warden. If you don't take out those defenses and they lock onto the Warden, then either the healers won't transfer to the Pekka and your main force will die too quickly, or they will transfer off but your Warden will die and force the Eternal Tome too early. Not good for your attack either way. If you plan to Yeti bomb the compartment, rage up the Yetis if a hero is nearby. The Yetis can take out the hero as well. Now you need to look for a spot to jump into the core. If there's closed walls on the outside, you should wall break to get into the initial compartment, then jump into the core. If the core is somewhat close to the entry, you can even tome while sending in a wall break to save another jump spell. You'll have to have a good understanding of Wallbreaker AI though. I talk about it in my Queen Charge guide, so if you haven't seen that, you should definitely check it out. Bases with large or long compartments work very well for this strategy. Map out what your P.e.k.K.a, wizards, and queen can reach after jumps, and then make sure that somewhere along the way you're able to take out the town hall, whether it be the queen reaching over the wall to get it, sending your P.e.k.K.a straight into the town hall compartment with the tome, or blimping it. Just guarantee the 2-star, but plan for the 3. You start the attack by carving out a corner of the base. Whether you're using a Yeti Bomb, Deep Warden Walk, or a Zaps, you need to set a deep enough funnel to where your main force will have no choice but to step into the base next to the spot that you just carved out. As the funnel is being set on one side, you need to start the funnel on the opposite side of the compartment that you want your main force to enter. Otherwise, everything will walk around the entire base and die. This is where your king comes in with either witches or the siege barracks behind to clear all the trash and create a nice path for your P.e.k.K.a to move right into the base. If the compartment you're trying to get into is closed, then you can wall break it and follow it up with all your P.e.k.K.a, super wizards, and queen to go right into that initial compartment. Place something in range of the warden so that he switches to support mode and walks over to your troops. And make sure that there aren't any defenses locked onto your warden, or else the healers won't swap to the P.e.k.K.a. This is crucial since the P.e.k.K.a need to be kept alive through all the core damage. As they enter the compartment, you can place your jump that gets you into the core and rage the troops to get through all the defenses quickly. With this strategy, you don't want to open up as many compartments as possible though. It's all about control. Just open the necessary compartments that'll get you to the core. Notice here, the jump is placed to only open the core and not this compartment because the P.e.k.K.a could walk out if they go there. If the healers haven't swapped yet, pay attention to the health of the P.e.k.K.a and use your warden's ability to protect them entering the core. Once the tome has been used, the warden will not be taking any damage and the healers should transfer to the P.e.k.K.a and restore them to full health while under the first rage. Now you can keep following the P.e.k.K.a with rages to breeze through the core defenses as they get to your exit jump spell. It's important that you control where your P.e.k.K.a go with this jump spell, since by now you've probably run out of rages in your warden's tome. If you open up too many compartments, the P.e.k.K.a will spread out on the back end and the healers won't be able to keep them alive. I usually try to bring them over to the side that my siege barracks was placed, so that the RC and the hogs from the siege barracks are tanked for and do more damage, quickly working their way along the outside of the base. At this point, you should have 2 freeze spells, unless something went wrong and you needed to save a hero. Save the freezes for protecting heroes because they are your win conditions now, especially the RC, not only because of her speed and damage, but also because she prioritizes defenses and can jump over walls. For Town Hall 12s, 11s, and 10s, you usually use a Stone Slammer with balloons and a haste and a freeze for cleanup, or just hogs out of the siege barracks and a heal instead of freezes. In these cases, it's best to protect your queen at the end because her damage and range makes cleaning up so much faster, resulting in fewer time fails. And now we can go over a quick replay to reinforce these tips we learned. This is an attack from Tiz, and he is bringing the standard Pekka Smash army and starting with the Warden Walk. He's eyeing up the Eagle in this case as it's really close to the outside and it will take a lot of damage off the Pekka. Since it has a lot of hit points, he needs to rage up the Warden so the walk doesn't take too long. He placed the Warden away from the ground bow, but it locks onto him anyway, so the healers may not transfer immediately, which might cause a problem. He's also starting the funnel on the other side of that scatter compartment, and you can see he only used a baby dragon for the few trash buildings that are over there. The siege barracks goes down to add an extra Pekka and help narrow down the base as the main force goes right in with a wall break and a jump that only opens up the core. A rage is placed pretty early to quickly get him through the first defenses, and then he can tome as his troops enter the core. This will allow those Coco Loons to fish for more Seeking Air Mines, and it helps the healers transfer over to the Pekka since the Warden stopped taking damage and is at full health. And you can see his exit jump spell is used to force his Pekka down into the Town Hall compartment. You obviously don't want to miss the Town Hall. Now he can send in his RC to go behind the Valkyries out of the siege barracks so that they can tank the damage and allow the RC to snipe off all the defenses on the edge. He's saving those freezes to save the RC if she's in any danger. The P.e.k.K.A and the King break out on the backside and start cleaning up the outside trash buildings, and you can see the only real threat is the single Inferno at the top of the base. But there's just too many troops, and he just swags those 2 freezes, and the base is absolutely obliterated. And that is all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, definitely consider subscribing for more guides in the future. Now go triple some bases.